you of all these 8 classes. The first class is always an overview. Okay, this is just an overview of all the modules I'll be discussing with you. Okay, so to start with, I will not be taking up or teaching you anything today. This is just a gist and an overview of all the modules. Okay, then how am I going to kind of take it up in each and every class? This is what I'll be discussing with you. Fine. Yeah. I'm very happy to see almost 62 participants have logged in. It's just like the offline session only, right? Very nice to see this. Right. So I hope you can see the PPT, my PowerPoint presentation. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Right. Okay. So basically, the course is divided into 5 blocks, but some of the blocks comprise, I mean, have almost like each block has 3 to 4 units, and some of them even have 5 units. Okay. So such kind of blocks might spill in a bit a day, another day or so, or another extra class, but otherwise, maybe block 3 has just 3 units. So with that, I can even club start with another block, and then, you know, so I can take it up. Okay, to start with, as I told you, it has got 5 blocks where it starts with the, uh, and moreover, what is this basically all about? The growth and structure of English. I'll just give you a gist of it. So, you know how the language grew. Okay, now forget about English. Basically, what is language and how did it grow? How did people communicate? Because language is nothing but it's a medium of communication, isn't it? How you communicate with each other. So, how the primitive man actually communicated, right? There would have been some method and means to communicate. And so it could be by pictures, and it could be by some symbols, it could be some vague sounds. Okay, and they would have communicated just like animals. Now animals, and please remember, language is a kind of a trait or a characteristic feature of only human beings, right? We only can speak in terms of, proper language, but when it comes to animals, they only imitate. They do not know how to put it into a kind of a proper language or a speech, isn't it? So now this kind of speech evolved. When did this language evolve? And so all these things, we are going to take up in this course. And initially, this is what it is. So initially, how the language evolved and how it just turned into symbols and signs, and then how people could derive the, kind of messages from the given uh, pictures and images, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, after this, what happened? Slowly, there was one family, one language, which was called prototype. And from there, because of the different dialects, things started evolving. I mean, uh, kind of, it just tried to branch out into different languages. Okay, another question I have it for you people. Do I have to speak in Telugu also? You all can understand my English? I mean,
Yes,
is
ma'am.
it?
Yeah,
Huh.
Yes, ma'am. I can
we,
understand.
we can
Okay.
understand, ma'am, but
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
use Telugu also.
Okay. So, no, if it is mandatory, then I'll definitely switch over to this language also, provided, I mean, Hindi, Telugu, any other, I don't mind. Okay. Only English. Okay. Right. I can. Okay. Okay. Done. Done. I have no issues. No, as long as, my, see, basically, this is a class where everyone should follow what I'm teaching. So I'll try to be very slow, very clear, okay, and use a lot of simple language and kind of vocabulary, okay, so that you can, be be with me, okay, just follow my pace, right? Right. So now slowly that has evolved into again different languages, okay, from the tree or the parent thing. There were other branches which branched out, and from there was a sub group. the German from where the English has evolved. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn in this course. Now, just not with the language we end up, how the language English, apart from the primitive language, this particular English language, how did it come to the stage of modern English language? I mean, what is it? What are the bricks of it? What are the basic the elements of this language? From there we are going to start. Like, we will look into the phonetic structure of it. What are these tiny sounds which actually make up this kind of a sound or speech? Then together put it across, you call it as again morphemes. And then you have the words, then you have phrases. Okay, then you have the clause, the sentences, the meanings, and so on. It goes and goes and goes. So the entire course looks into this aspect of language. Basically, language in general, but specifically it is English language. Okay. So because English hasn't just, brought out from nowhere, isn't it? It has slowly evolved from a kind of a language itself. Okay. So first and foremost, the language, then the English language, then all the components of this English language we are going to. So this is just a skeletal form of thing which I am trying to tell you what we are going to learn in this course, bit by bit, block by block. So, and the textbook was designed so perfectly that, you have each block trying to take up concept, one concept per block. So it's really very, it's like exhaustive kind of. Yeah, tell me. There's one student who raised hand. Can I know the reason, ma'am? Okay. Right. So to start with, the intro, study of the English language by tracing its origin, where it originated, how it originated and growth, and by describing its present day structure in detail. So block 1 of the course, what does it define? Okay. See, I'll try to turn it into a PowerPoint presentation mode slideshow. Please let me know if you all can see that. Sometimes when I convert it into a slideshow, it's not visible. Okay, just tell me.
It is visible, ma'am.
No, now you can see it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can, right? Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So here it is. So what is language? That's the first block. Unit 1. Yes.
Please make it full screen, no, ma'am.
Yeah, I made it into full screen.
No, yes. It is like showing slides beside.
Oh, it will take some time for it to turn into full screen, I think so, because it's little bit lagging, right?
Okay, no, ma'am.
No, wait for, no, you do one thing, wait for some time and see if it still doesn't turn into full screen, then I'll get back to my own previous thing only.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, through our mobile only you can make it like you can zoom it and see. No problem.
Double touch on the screen.
Okay.
If you zoom it, it will come like widerly.
Okay.
No, that is Zoom. Zoom is different and full screen is different. Ma'am have slides on the other side, so it is also showing.
No issues. See, I brought it back to the normal slides. I think now it's clear.
Clear, ma'am.
Yeah, I think I'll better go with this only. Let me not, kind of interfere with its technical aspect, because I'm very poor in this technology thing, right? Okay. So language and other systems of communication. the evolution of language, the evolution of English, then the foreign element in English vocabulary. Now, this is your first unit. Okay. Well, if I talk about the first unit, what is language and why study it? Now, defines, I think I've done a bit about this first unit. So let me just move on to the second block, the sounds of English. Okay. As I told you, when we are doing this English language, then we will have to kind of, the language, how it is pronounced, what are the various organs of speech involved in producing that speech and sound, all such things we are going to learn in this block 2. And this is very, very interesting because there you get to know how the organs of speech, how they kind of, produce sound. So now here we will get an idea about phonetics and phonology of English. What is phonetics? It's a branch of linguistics. Now, which deals with the medium of speech.
Speech sounds.
Yeah.
Speech sounds.
Exactly. True. Very correct. So it deals with the production, transmission, and reception of the sounds of human speech. So now in this block, so this is what we are going to look into. That is, what are the various organs, such as you have teeth. I mean, like the, the upper jaw. There are kind of, one is fixed organ where that will also help you in producing the sound. And there is something which is, kind of, there is a mobility in it. So a fixed and a, a movable, like the upper lip and the lower lip, the teeth, the tongue, okay, and the alveolar ridge. And then you have the glottis and the, the back side of the tongue, and all such organs which contribute to this production of speech. So that is what we're going to learn in this organs of speech of the block 2, right? Then we have classification of sounds, that is consonants. Okay. Right. And first and foremost, how it is articulated, the consonant sounds, the manner of its articulation we are going to look into, and the place of articulation we will look into. Okay. And then also about the consonants. So what is it? The sounds of consonants. We talk about not consonants. Please remember, sounds, in fact, consonant sounds, right? In phonetics, it's always the sound we deal with. Next, we have the vowels. Okay, classification of sounds, vowels, right? Now here we will look into this classification on the basis of their production. Okay, the vowels, right? And what are the, the distinguishing between different types of vowel sounds. Okay, you have monophthongs, you have diphthongs, right? And you have diphthongs are nothing but gliding vowels. So all these come under the classification of sounds such as vowels. And you will also learn to describe vowel sounds by using 3 term labels. Okay, and then you have word accent in English. What is accent? When do you call it as accented? The word is being accented. That is where and all it has to be stressed. Okay. Yeah, correct. Then you have intonation in English, right? What is intonation?
Rise and fall of.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. So the rise and fall of the pitch. I mean, how is it like, at some places, if it's an interrogative, what is the intonation? When it has to be a command, what is this, the intonation? It differs, okay, from sentence to sentence, right? Then if it has to be a request, there's a different intonation, okay? Then under which we are going to learn the major tones of English, okay? Then we will identify the tonic syllable, the nuclear tone, and the tone group under this intonation, right? And then we also have how to accent the content words in a tone group. Okay. And also decide which tone, I think I've just mentioned it now, which tone should be used for an utterance. Like, for a request, for a command, for a question, there are different kinds of intonations. All that we'll be reading in this particular unit, that is intonation in English. Right. Now, moving on to the next block, that is block 3, we have the word. Okay. So you would have noticed how gradually we are coming up to this kind of level. The phonetics, the smallest part of a word. From there, we are coming into this a block, the block of a language. That is, they are the building blocks of a sentence, isn't it? So the word structure. What is a word? Okay. And then the structure of a word, what is this lexeme? And we will learn about the morpheme, morphs, and allomorphs in this. Then now we will also analyze a word. Also, when we have the types of morpheme in this word. So under types of morphemes, again, you have this, the roots, stem, basis. If you look at a word, you'll be able to figure out which is the root word there or which is the base there. Okay.
Prefixes, suffixes.
Exactly. Yes. Those are the derivational things for a given word, isn't it? We add those, either a prefix and suffix, and kind of convert it into another word. We, build the vocabulary by doing such a thing, right? So word building processes. Then word power in English. Yeah, under word building, we have this compounding, we have, various methods in which words have been, vocabulary has been built, like suppletion, reduplication, you have conversion, clipping, blends, and acronyms. These are the different methods in which the words are added up. Okay, they kind of modify the words and are added up. Next, moving on to the word power in English. That is their, the contribution of creative writers. Here we're going to discuss some of the ways, okay, in which English vocabulary has been enriched. Like, synonymy, polysemy, denotation, connotation, collocation, and idioms. That is how the words have been enriched, the vocabulary, English vocabulary especially, right? And in this, you will also learn a lot about how words have formed by different methods, by proper nouns, by abbreviations, words created by error, they are called as freak formation. By an error, by mistake, the words are formed. Then you have doublets. Okay. Then you have synonyms. Right. And then how the words even change their meaning. The vocabulary, the word power in English, words have come in with a lot of, modifications, and, they have added up some prefixes and suffixes. Apart from that, the meanings have changed. The original meaning of a word, how it changed over a period of time. Okay. And then we have so under that change of meaning, we have generalization, specialization, we have polarization, reversal of meaning, and yeah, these are some of the methods. Of course, there are quite a good number of methods in which the change of meaning has occurred for a word, but these are a few which are given and prescribed in your syllabus. Then coming to okay, then moving on to then again collocation and idioms which are culture specific, right? Then you need to also figure out the difference between an idiom and a phrase, right? Then moving on to the next block, that is the fourth block, it talks about the sentence, right? So from bit by bit, from the sentence from words to phrases, okay, in unit 14. And then you are also introduced to the categorical label and the internal structure of the phrases also. And the second unit, which discusses the various forms of the English verb and their meanings, right? We look at finite and non-finite forms of the verb, different tense and aspect forms, and the modal auxiliary verbs. And you will also get to know the structural analysis of the verb phrase in English, okay, in the second unit, which talks about the verb. Now, the third unit analyzes the constituents of a clause from a functional point of view. So first, to start with, it's all about a phrase. Then there you come across a verb, because phrase is a statement, a group of words, or one or two words together form a phrase which doesn't have a verb. Whereas in the next unit, we get to know the verbs. The moment we understand verb, then we come across clause. What is clause? Which has a verb, isn't it? So the third unit analyzes the constituents of a clause from a functional point of view. Now you are made familiar with the functional labels like subject, object, complement, and adjunct. And we will also look at the phrasal verbs and the prepositional verbs. Now the fourth unit,
Ma'am?
Yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
fourth unit, and it is showing unit 14th, ma'am, here.
Oh,
Block
yeah,
4.
yeah, in the block. Okay. Let me just tell you. 14th unit is the first unit. I am saying according to the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. 5 units are there in this block 4. Okay. I'll number it as 14, 15 only. Okay, fine. So now coming to the 17th unit. Okay. Now, as per the sequence I'm trying to tell you, the 17th unit, clause and sentence types. So this is going to examine the 17th unit, which will talk about the sentences with multiple clauses. Now, how the clauses are classified according to finiteness, dependency, and their function. Now, we'll also look at sentence types such as indicative, either a declarative or an interrogative, subjunctive, imperative, and exclamatory. These are nothing but types of sentences. Okay. So once we are done with phrases, verbs, clauses, then subject and predicate, then we come across this types of sentences. Okay. Now the last unit, that is unit 18 of this slide block, it talks about the meaning of sentences. Yeah. The denotational, the mentalistic, and the pragmatic approaches to meaning. And the meaningful relation between sentences like the entailment and presupposition, okay, and structural and scope ambiguity, which are discussed in this unit, that is unit 18, right? Moving on to the next block and the last block. Right. Block 5. In fact, when you are looking at an overview like this, it finds to be very simple. But when you actually, get into it, then you will understand the depth of the concept and the unit, isn't it? It's like, divided into so many subtopics, actually speaking. When you look at the main topic, you feel, oh, that's it, right? It's not so. Right. Moving on to the fifth block. So here we learn about beyond the sentence. Okay. So here, English language beyond the word and the sentence into features of discourse and language use. Okay. How it is. What is discourse? It's like, kind of a speech or a kind of a discussion. It's like more than a sentence, isn't it? As of now, we've been doing the bit by bit, the phonetics, the phonemes, the morphemes, the word, then then the sentences, I'm sorry, the phrases, clauses, verbs, okay, and then the sentences. Now, a group of sentences. So it's like beyond the sentence. Right. Now here in unit 19, which talks about discourse analysis. So it introduces the notion of discourse and demonstrates how discourse can be analyzed in terms of medium. Yeah. Any doubts, ma? You have any doubts?
Earlier you said phonetics, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Phonetics, and you said another word. I couldn't get it.
Okay.
Phonetics.
Phonetics.
Phonology.
Phoneme?
Phonology, ma'am.
Phonology. Okay. What is phonology? It's nothing but study of phonetics, right?
Yes.
Phonetics.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
another word. We are going to learn something else also.
Okay, let me just kind of say it again. Morpheme, morphology.
Morpheme.
Huh?
Okay.
Phonetics, phoneme. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So what I would suggest is you will read block by block. The first block, you will read it and come, then you'll surely understand when I'm explaining it. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes. Any other thing which I mentioned apart from these? Did I?
What's the difference between phonetics and phonology?
See, phonology is nothing but a study of sounds, isn't it? Phonetics is nothing but it's a symbol of sounds. Both are one and the same. Phonetics is nothing but it's like you will talk about the speech, the utterances of the phonemes, or the phonetics. Okay, how the letters come up with their sounds. Like that's phonetics. Okay, phonology is nothing but, yeah.
Like ma'am, something like that. It is like phonetics,
Yeah,
no?
Sounds.
that is
Yes.
phonetics.
The sounds.
Yes. Yes.
Can we say phonology is the arrangement of speech sounds?
And study of those, right?
Study of those speech
Yeah.
sounds. Okay.
Right.
And phonetics is the production of the speech sounds.
Exactly.
Articulation of the speech sounds.
Sounds. Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So you have a discourse analysis, which introduces the notion of discourse and demonstrates how discourse can be analyzed in terms of medium. May it be in speech or writing. So it can be either of this. Okay, how it can be analyzed, a discourse. So what is the difference between these two, speech and writing? Okay, and tenor, example, like, you have the formal or informal. The tone, tenor is nothing but the tone, polite or familiar. Okay, and domain, the subject matter, right? So after discussing the properties of coherence and cohesion, which characterize any piece of discourse. So these are two important aspects of any kind of discourse, may it be in speech or may it be in written form. There should be a coherence, there should be a cohesion, okay? There should be a proper connectivity between the statements, connectivity between the concepts, right? And the unit also examines the Grecian notion of implicature and the maxims of conversation which underlie implicature. Right. Now, the last unit, that is 20th unit, we talk about varieties of English. So what is varieties of English is all about, the different dialects, in fact. The same English language, you've got different varieties, isn't it? Across the country.
American
Yes,
English, British
yes,
English.
yes. Australian, American, British, Canadian. Then you also have African English. You also have Indian English, isn't it? In India itself, one particular English, and India, you see, there are various dialects of English, isn't it? Yeah. So
Yes.
you even, I remember certain words of English and Tenglish and so many other, Telugu people's English and Hindi people's English and, Bengali people's English. So that's like different dialects are there. So after making a distinction between native and non-native varieties, we are going to look into in detail the differences at various levels between two major native varieties. So two major native varieties, that is the British Standard English and American Standard English. So after looking at all these differences of various countries and places, then we will, focus on the British as well as American English, the difference between them, and it also will throw a light on some of the Indian English as an important non-native variety. So this is block 5, beyond the sentence. Clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, tell something about cohesion and coherence, ma'am.
Cohesion and, yeah. See, cohesion and coherence. See, we all know in any say, for example, you write a passage, okay, or an essay, right? So when you are writing a statement after statement, don't you see that there is a kind of a bond between each and every sentence and a concept? I mean, for example, see, now I'm using for example, you write this. In addition, you do this. But while doing this, you take it out. I mean,
then
you
lastly,
see,
it is like adding those things to passages and all.
Not just adding these connectors, you will take it in a proper sequential manner. You know, something like, for example, now when I am writing an essay about, say, for example, okay, online shopping, its advantages and disadvantages. So when I'm talking about advantages in one paragraph, I can't mention disadvantages in the same paragraph. Can I do that?
No, ma'am.
Does it make any sense? No, isn't
Like
it?
we are like ma'am, we are starting from introduction, overview, advantages, disadvantages, and the conclusion, right?
Exactly. True. So there is a kind of a flow. You see, there's a flow. Yeah.
Yes.
From this to this. I mean, otherwise, what happens? It looks as if you are, literally jumping from one to another, where, the reader will not be able to follow what exactly you are trying to say. Yes. Now, even when I'm speaking, now, for example, I'm talking about the first unit, probably in the first block. Suddenly, I'll switch to some other unit and block. Will you be able to follow me? There's no coherence. There is no cohesion. Cohesion is nothing but a connectivity. Coherence also means one and the same. Okay, there should be otherwise it's like, it's chaos. You don't.
Ma'am, it is like you're taking steps, skipping steps between the staircase.
Yes,
so
not only skipping. See, even if I skip one or two and still end up landing on the last step, you will still understand. But what am I doing? Moving on to the second and the third step and coming back to the second step again. If I do it that way, I mean, it's like, where am I moving? You will not know.
Not in sequence.
Exactly. The sequential order should be visible in the paragraphs. That's what, discourse analysis talks about. Okay.
Ma'am,
tell me.
Yeah, please continue, ma'am. Please continue.
Please. No, your queries are very important. Yeah, please.
Yeah, ma'am. This course like includes essay writing and letter writing as well?
for this discourse analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Yes,
no.
yes.
You mean to say the course? No, no, no,
Yes,
no.
yes, yes.
No.
No, in
It's only
paragraph
the
and
structure.
It's
essays we
just
use, no?
paragraphs. See,
Paragraph.
let me tell you. See, in general, when you
Mhm.
write a paragraph, in
Mhm.
general, when you
Mhm.
deliver a speech or a lecture, this is
Mhm.
what you are supposed to follow. So when I say a paragraph, of course, letter also has a paragraph. Essay
Yes,
also
ma'am.
has a passage. So
Yes, yes.
wherever there is a paragraph involved, wherever there is a passage involved, it is applicable to that. It is very
Okay.
simple. But in
Okay.
specific, we are not telling, hey, you write an essay, so it has to be like this. Hey, you
Okay.
write a letter, it has to be like this. No, wherever
Okay.
you are writing a passage, wherever you are writing something, or wherever you are speaking, okay,
Mhm.
there should
Mhm.
be this
It's not
coherence.
like a passage or something. It's even in a line format also.
Exactly.
It's single line also.
Exactly. So the alignment should be even. I mean, you
Okay.
just can't keep jumping, forward and backward.
Yes,
Then,
true.
you will not be able to, convey what you are trying to say. The reader also will not be able to understand. Even the listener will find it confusing. What is this person all about? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what is cohesion. And
Thank you.
yeah, we will do a few examples when we come to that block. Don't worry.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So coming to the
Thank you, ma'am.
first, yes. So any other doubts? So next class, so today actually I'll be just giving you an overview only, but the next class when you are coming, be prepared with the first block from first to fifth unit. We'll be finishing it off in one go. Okay, in one class, we'll be finishing all these 5 units, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sure.
And so maybe a bit about the first block, I'll just talk about the language, just the language. So may I get some kind of information from you people, like what is language? May it be
Yes.
newcomers or the students who've been there in my class. What is it? Please tell
Ma'am,
me.
Language is communication,
language
ma'am.
is a communication.
Very good.
Language is a communication. It's a two-way process, listening, reading,
Yes,
writing, in any
yes,
way and in any languages.
yes.
So the other person need to understand.
Yes.
That is called a language.
Very true. Huh?
To communicate different
Then,
people.
right. That means so the primitive people did not have any language. Then how does it they have understood each other? I mean, they had to communicate, right? How did they do it?
Some set of sounds.
Sound,
Yes.
sign.
Sounds,
Yes.
Sign
actions, ma'am,
language.
actions. Actions also matters.
Yes.
That's
True.
also a sign of language.
That's called
Body
gesture,
language.
right? The method of
Gesture, yes.
Yes,
gestures.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Gestures.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Gestures.
Even now, without our knowledge, sometimes don't we use that? Say, for
Yes,
example,
yes,
go.
yes,
You kind of wave out your hand, or you say come, or come
yes.
closer. With your actions, you speak a lot, isn't it? And that's
Yes, ma'am.
body
Getting a glass
language.
of water, like
Yeah,
with
exactly.
hand.
And that's body language. Body language is
Yes.
nothing but that's a kind of a language which
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have anything to do with sounds, with only
Mm-hmm.
your body. And it has come from the ancient, the primitive people only, from the primitive ages. So if you've noticed, it's very difficult to speak without using our body language. I mean, without moving our hands, and you just can't. It's quite difficult. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes,
Even,
ma'am. Yes.
yeah, even in your general conversation, you would have seen your palms and hands moving according to what you are saying, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes. So that's very, very important. So as you told it right, that primitive people, maybe through gestures, through some crude sounds. Okay. Yeah.
yes.
Next. Then how did this? So, why do we communicate, by the way?
To express
To
our
understand,
views,
To
to convey our
understand
thoughts.
and explain our
To express our feelings, ma'am.
Very good. So, feelings and exchange
Our
knowledge,
needs.
right?
Requirements.
Yes.
Exchanging dialogues.
Yeah.
Or to exchange
To convey our
information.
ideas, ma'am.
Yes. And
basically to understand each other, ma'am.
yes, yes, yes. So only through that kind of a, communication we can understand, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And so man is so smart enough. He's a social animal. Without language, he cannot do away, isn't it? So he had to, because he has to be with the group in the society, he has to communicate. So that very need of it, it gave rise to so many languages, isn't it? So
Yes.
geographically, you have different languages based on the geography of the earth. Have you noticed it? One part of the country speaks one language, the other part another language. Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
please
Yes.
remember, language is not inherent. Language is learned. It is
Acquired.
acquired. Okay. That is through your either by imitation from your parents, you imitated, right? As a child, you are exposed, you've been hearing to it, right? Listening to it, and you catch up that language. That's why if you see,
Knowledge, ma'am.
Amma, yeah,
Acquiring knowledge.
acquiring knowledge, yeah. Yeah. You mean to say for knowledge, you use this word acquiring?
Yes.
Mhm.
No, no, no.
Okay.
I mean to say,
Okay, knowledge of right, knowledge. Okay, I got it. Then you uh, maybe through a lot of exposure. Sometimes people from other places, they come down to settle in different region, places with different languages. Still, they'll be able to pick up, and that's how they become bilingual and multilingual people, isn't it? How do they?
yes, yes,
They are
yes, yes.
not born with that inherent language thing. They have picked it up, no doubt. But then apart from the mother tongue, if you look at people who have settled in elsewhere from their own place, they catch up. Why? Because they
Exposure.
exposure, they interact with several other people with that. And as I told you, man being a social animal wants to fit into the group, isn't it? And
Yes, ma'am.
for which the the human being, what does the human being does? Try to try to learn the language of the other community, whoever it is, the other language, in order to fit into that group. Otherwise he feels isolated, otherwise he feels left out, in order to make sure that he is a part of that. So, and another thing is, when even people western countries, if you go there, you have proper Telugu associations there, several associations of Telugu group people,
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
and
yeah.
Tana. It's like
yes,
Tana.
Kana and all that, right? Now whenever they see their own people of their own language, they feel so happy, isn't it? And but still, to fit
Yes,
into
ma'am.
that country, they do learn English, they do speak in English, they do communicate with the English people there, in order to fit there. But by and large, if you look at their heart, it is always towards their own, the land people, isn't
Mother
it?
tongue.
They feel
Mother tongue.
exactly. They feel so elated and happy the moment they see somebody who's from their own native place, isn't it? They feel very
Yes, ma'am.
happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes. So, and no, for a lot of feelings also, you feel happy, distress. I mean, all these emotional feelings also can be exchanged, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And
And the best example is the people who is moving to US or Canada.
yeah,
Being an Indian, if we find an Indian, then we'll be happy to see them
that's
around
what,
us. So
that's what
that is
Th-
amazing.
yes. That's what I noticed. Exactly. So, okay. How did this language originate? Okay, the Homo sapiens. Uh, they were the people, who have actually started to. And again, there are two species in that: Homo sapiens and chimpanzees. Kind of those kind of species, there's a difference between these two Homo sapiens thing, and they were the ones who actually started with this kind of crude sounds, and being I mean modified into a proper language verbally, and then they started. That's how it originated. Okay. And yeah, then what else do you want to talk about?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
when English was originated in the world?
Oh, long back. Actually, I'll tell you. It's basically a Germanic language, okay? That we are going to do it in the first unit, how
Okay.
the English language evolved, okay?
Okay.
So it's like
From
Indo-European.
German to English then.
exactly. German's language
Yes.
itself was English, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
There were two tribes called Angles and Saxons and
Saxons and
yes.
Okay.
So
Jews.
they were, yeah, Jutes also, right?
Okay.
These were the people who were from Germany. They invaded England or the Britain, you call it. Then from there, they pushed the earlier people who were speaking in Celtic language.
Mm-hmm.
It was not English in Britain, and they were called Brythons. And then they were not English people, of course. So they pushed all these people to the north, the other parts of Scotland and the other parts of the country. And then these started to settle down there with their English language being spread across. So that's why it is called it's Angles and Saxons, Anglo-Saxon language. Or it was also called as English, not English,
English. Yes.
English.
English, because
English.
it's brought by Angles. Yeah. Okay. So it's Angles have brought.
Basically, it belongs to
Huh.
Indo-European family, no, ma'am?
That's the main tree. That's the
Yeah.
main tree
Yes.
from where
Originated from.
all these other families have originated. Okay, that's the main prototype.
So, majorly, English was originated from German.
Exactly. So the sub branch of that main tree is German.
Okay.
So from there, again, there is East, there is West German. Okay.
So, ma'am, German is similar to English? Is it like the writing and everything?
Yes. Not exactly like English, but yes, somewhat, because now English is not pure. It's got so many other words brought into it, isn't it? We have Latin, we have French into
Yes.
English. So it's not pure form of English language. But basically, if you look at the pure form, it's again, you cannot understand also the old English or the Anglo-Saxon English. Okay, the actual language which was brought by, the German
like
tribes.
in India, after Persian, then English came to this thing. So it was like German, then English.
Oh, yes.
In the world.
Yes.
In Telugu also, we have got so much of variation, ma'am. As the trend
Exactly.
goes on, as the time changes, we have also adapted the new language.
Exactly.
Using the new technology, new words. So just like that, the English language has also gone
various changes, right?
Yeah,
yes, modifications. So many other words started pouring in, and this one and that one. That's how you have so many synonyms. What are synonyms? They're nothing but one meaning for so many words for one meaning. Okay. I mean, different words like you have charming, beautiful, handsome, pretty, but meaning is somewhat the same. Of course, not exactly the same, but still so many words. Why? Because each one from different language. One is from Latin, one is from French, one is from, they started coexisting together, right? Without not sticking on to only one word, we just call them, label them as English words only, though they are not basically from English. Okay. So many words have poured in. Now, even in Telugu, as somebody suggested, you also have Sanskrit words, so many Sanskrit words into, you have
even
this.
Hindi also, ma'am.
Even Hindi has Sanskrit words, ma'am.
Yes.
Pani is a Sanskrit word, actually.
Yes. Right? So this is the first block about the origin of language. So tomorrow I'll be starting with the explanation of the first block. That is how the language has originated, and after which the English language, how the tribal people, so-called tribal people, Anglo-Saxons and Jutes brought it and called it as Anglo-Saxon, and that period where the English has arrived there is called the Old English period. Okay. Then there is a period called Middle English period. Why is it called Middle? Because there was a change again. There was a transition from the English to the French involvement into it. A lot of French words have poured in. That's, Normans invaded. Exactly. Okay. Middle English period. Then the modern English, where again it is early modern later modern, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So, any other?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Right. So, I expect you all to be there. Yeah. Tomorrow in the next session, and make sure you read the text. Okay. And especially the block, first
Ma'am,
block.
can I ask you one question, ma'am? For
Please.
few of us, still books are not reached, ma'am.
Oh, okay, okay. The material is not given. Okay, no problem. Anyhow, I'll be teaching, no?
Ma'am, can we go through that model papers?
Oh, yes, model test paper. You wanted it, right? Actually, it's given in the last page of this textbook. Okay, then. Tomorrow, can I share it on a... No, model test. Yeah, it's there. Model test papers are there in the textbook. I think some of you have the textbook, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you can share the model test paper in the group.
Sure.
Maybe
Sure,
take a picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Ma'am, is it going to change or it remains same?
No, it will be the same till you finish your course. They will not change it. Okay?
Okay.
It will
Same
not
pattern.
change. Yes, same. Oh, the pattern of the paper you're asking?
Yes.
Oh, that I have to verify with madam. So it's like 70 and 30, 100 marks paper. Okay, I'll just confirm it because seems
Ma'am,
to be
13
this.
for Assignments, no?
No.
Assignments model change, no, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
70 and 30 is...
Online assignments are
No.
made.
Let me just tell you. It is 70 marks paper.
Okay.
And as you said, assignment is for 30 marks, right?
Yes.
That's it. Yes. You're right. Here the paper shows 70 marks as maximum. Correct. What you said is right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, when will be having these exams?
That I think you have the university's number, no? The contact number. You have to ask them.
Ma'am, please tell online assignments is admission, give suggestions to me.
Because admissions are so late, ma'am. Till they are April last week.
Oh, the admissions were still going on, you mean to say?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. They given more time to the admissions till last week of April.
Okay.
So exams can postpone or not, ma'am?
Oh, that part of it. Okay. No. I'll find out.
Even ma'am, yes, she's true. Like what happened is we joined lately in the groups and we don't know about anything about the assignments and all. So it's like if we get more time for just 3 days, 4 days back, I have joined, ma'am.
Oh,
so
okay,
I have to do
okay.
all assignments.
Okay.
So if you request for few more days, that would be helpful, ma'am, for us.
Okay. No. Listen, I'm just an academic counselor here. My HOD ma'am is there. Maybe I can just put it across to her, or maybe as students, you also can talk to her.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it was posted in May something, which date we don't know. Actually, there was 1 month time, but we came recently, ma'am. Within few days, we cannot do all the 10 assignments. That is the reason.
Yeah. So you need some time. You want to have some time for
at
submission?
least more 4-5 days. If we get it, that would be helpful.
Definitely. I'll just talk about this, and maybe tomorrow we have a session, right?
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Yeah.
It
Then
will
if
be
ma'am
helpful,
is
ma'am.
available,
Thank you so much.
yeah, I'll find out if ma'am is Hey, one more thing. You also have a class with madam, no? Madhuri madam? You have a session with her, no? Online session?
But somebody else came today.
Ma'am did not come. Oh, okay.
Which subject?
Takes up American literature, I think so, right?
No, American literature, Ashwin sir has taken.
Okay. But in the offline classes, what was ma'am taking? Okay. Okay. Let me just check with madam and then get back to you, because we are live. The thing is going on live. So I don't think it's correct to discuss all this on the
Okay.
on the session.
Okay, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am, one more question, just
Please.
general one.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, as first year students, can we appear for UGC NET or TS set?
As first years of PG?
PG.
Yes, of course. Oh, you need to complete your PG, right? For the NET?
Yes,
Actually, there are
And
two
that too,
clauses,
there's a
ma'am.
cutoff mark also. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, there are clauses, ma'am. Actually, we need to complete it within 2 years, and the required percentage has to be matched. For
Yes,
general
yes.
category, 55, and for BC and SA and all the other students, it's 50.
50. Okay.
50. So within 2 years, if, for example, I'm a first year student, I'm appearing for UGC NET NAC, the
Okay.
June session. So
Okay.
if I qualify, I need to submit my post-graduation degree within 2 years.
Oh,
The
okay.
required percentage. Is it true? We are being misguided by many, ma'am. So no one has the correct information about this one.
Okay, then I'll just go through. I mean, I too cannot kind of, vaguely give you some information about this. Let me also just go through it, what exactly their criteria of, eligibility is.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, dear. Yes, ma. So,
Ma'am, actually, one assignment one is 20th last date, right, ma'am?
yeah. Okay.
And there is showing also assignment two, right, on the website. And when it will be started?
No, the deadline is given.
No, ma'am. Actually, my question is, will there be two assignments or one assignment?
Okay, it'll be only
both the assignments, it will be
No,
20.
ma'am, we need to submit both the assignments on a 20 only, ma'am. Before 20.
Oh, you have two assignments, dear?
Yes, madam.
Acha, before 20, you have 20th of this month, you have to submit it, right?
Submit both the assignments, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So, is there any problem in submission of those assignments?
Ma'am, actually, she's trying to ask that one assignment it is showing, no? So after submission of first assignment, then the second will open. She should know that, like, after submission, then second will open automatically. That is the reason she's asking.
Oh, yes, that is how it is. Okay, you just tell me, is there any student here who has submitted both the assignments? Is there any student who has submitted both the assignments?
Yes, ma'am.
How does this happen, ma? One after the other, or both simultaneously you've submitted?
One after the other, madam. First we must submit your assignment, madam. After that, again, assignment it will
download second assignment booklet, then submit that one.
Oh, okay. See, this is how it is.
Okay.
So if you're in a group, I think you can just put across your query like this, and your friends, they'll help you definitely, right? Because if I tell you something and you will take it as a word from the teacher, and this is again misleading, isn't it? It's not correct. Yeah, it will be misleading. So from your peer group itself, you will get the right answer. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
So for today, I'll be, yeah?
So when can we expect our exams, ma'am?
So this is June, right?
Yes, ma'am.
June, I think you'll have some time for the exams, PG exams, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because
assignments are yet to submit.
Yeah.
Assignments and online classes.
Madam, in August?
Yes. Before that, you have to submit all your assignments. That's very important. Tentatively, maybe but not July, not so early, I think so.
August, maybe.
Yeah. So we'll do one thing. Okay. So tomorrow when I am coming back, I'll try to, clarify. But then when it's a right thing when you can call the university people to find out, no, ma? And yeah.
Nobody is lifting the phone, ma'am.
Oh, they're not taking the call?
Ma'am, it will be updated on the website, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, then.
If you call also, we will get that information only. We have to go according to with the website.
Then that is better, right? Why are you in a hurry to looking forward for that exam? Better you just watch out for the notification. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
That's it for today. Yeah.
Ma'am, Revati ma'am.
Yes, yes. Please tell me.
Is in an extraordinary way, ma'am. Like very confident and very bold in speaking. I'm very much inspired.
Oh, thank you so
much,
much.
ma'am. You are like superb.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
Your
much.
patience, exactly like an image. Very good, ma'am. Extraordinary way. You're holding your patience and explanation is superb.
Oh, okay, okay.
More
Thank
than
you.
extraordinary word. Tomorrow, definitely we'll meet for this unit 1, ma'am. We'll discuss tomorrow.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So let us disperse for the day. So tomorrow we'll come back.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Most welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Yes.
Thank you, madam.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Hello.